What is up, YouTube? Yugioh99 here, and today I'm starting a new segment called, well, if you've seen the title, I'm going to be calling it Yu-Gi-Oh! Time Machine. So, this segment is kind of like Slim X Team Symmetry's back in the day, where he picks a card that's banned and reviews it, except I'm going to do it differently, and I'm just going to go by the sets and talk about the highlights of the old sets. Now, what better place to start than Legend of Blue Eyes, the first set that was released here in North America. Now, I know that in Japan, they released multiple sets before this one. Well, actually, they had it a bit differently. They had like Series 1, 2, and 3, and 4, kind of like Magic the Gathering. But here, this was the first one we got. So I got my friend here to help me kind of through this. Yeah, he collected cards back in the day, too. I actually started collecting when in Blue Eyes White Dragon, Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I kind of stopped at like Soul of the Duelist. And then I came back at Order of Chaos. So, without further ado, let's get to this set. And this set is very nostalgic to me since I did collect a lot of the cards from this set. Alright. So, there's two. So the set is 2 secret rare cards, 10 ultra rares, 10 super rares, 22 rares, and 82 commons, which in total is 126 cards. So, like, here's the card list. Yeah, I doubt you guys had time to see that, but yeah.
Thank you to Yugioh Wiki.
Yeah, Yugioh Wiki is the link. The links will be in the description for this website. I'm sure you guys all know about it. So let's go through all the monsters that I think stood out in this set and made this the game what it was back then in that day. Now, I'm telling you guys now that back then they didn't have the ban list when this was first released. They did not have a ban list, so they could play 3 Pot of Greeds in the deck. There was a short period where you could play 3 Pots of Greed in the deck, 3 Regekis, 3 of everything. So, but then as the game progressed, there was a new ban list that was released. So, first card that I'll be talking about is the cover card, Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Big surprise.
Yeah. It is the strongest monster in the game. It was the strongest monster in the game when this set came out. Nothing could get over this guy. Nothing else, other than a Blue Eyes White Dragon crashing into the other one, could get over this. There were cards like 2-pronged attack that could destroy this, but other than that, well, you were pretty stuck with a Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field. And this guy basically secured your victory. Anything else to add on this?
Well, I mean, there were some cards that could defend against it.
I think Labyrinth Wall was in this set, but other than that, it's pretty hard to get around this guy. Next, we have Yugioh, the Forbidden One, was released in this set as well. Yugioh has been used till this day. I know that Jarrell Pro Winston played this at Nationals, and he got a top place, so yeah, he did really well with Yugioh, and it was like a Hope for Escape build, which is really cool. Anything else? Yeah?
Well, we all know how it works.
Yeah, we all know how Yugioh works. Man-Eater Bug. Man-Eater Bug was one of like the most powerful monsters in the game. This can stop the Blue Eyes, that's why people ran 3 of this guy. Flip, select and destroy 1 monster on the field. It's an insanely good effect and still could be used today. It's a counterpart to Raikou. No, well, not a counterpart, but it's something that does the same effect as Raikou, but everybody uses Raikou because he mills, and milling is good. So, yeah.
If you didn't want it, we could use that.
So, my friend wanted me to pick Mystical Elf. Can you explain why?
Well, because it's got a huge amount of defense for that time, and no other card other than one that you'd have to tribute for would be able to defeat it.
Yeah, it was really good defensive wall. Like, it could defend against basically any level 4. It was like really used, and I think except for like Dark Elf, this thing suffered against Dark Elf. Well, no, actually Dark Elf was at 2000. What am I saying? Next, okay, going to the spells, we got Pot of Greed. Yeah, so I don't think I have any traps in this list here of cards that I chose because the traps in this set were just not very good at all. So, wait a second, were there even traps? Yeah, there were traps back then. What am I saying? Okay, so Pot of Greed, draw 2 cards. Like, this card was, like, the crap back then. Everybody ran this card.
Why can't all spell cards have that small description?
Because it's, like, I mean, today the game's changed so much that cards can't just be like Pot of Greed anymore. Pot of Greed was, like, the simple, and it was just its simplicity is what made it broken. So, I'd like to see Pot of Greed come back, but then again, I wouldn't because it would just be like an automatic +1 whenever your opponent would drop it. So, it's really broken. Oh, this guy should have been with the monsters. And then we got Trihorn Dragon, one of the other secret rares in the set. Trihorn Dragon was another very powerful monster at the time, but he could not destroy Blue Eyes White Dragon. Next, we got Monster Reborn. This card's still played today in every deck, except for like Exodia and Final Countdown. But yeah, this card is It's still really good, and it was really expensive when it first came out. Like it was, and as it is right now, it's pretty expensive to get an ultra rare. It'll cost you like $20 to $30. Just again, a very broken card.
So what exactly is it supposed to be? Is it supposed to be a sword?
I think it's supposed to be like a dagger. That's I don't know. Like if somebody could tell me what it's supposed to be or what you think it's supposed to be, leave it in the comments below. But I personally see it as a dagger.
I see it as a sword with an afro.
Yeah. Next we got polymerization. The main fusion spell. It was topped by super polymerization that came out in the GX era, but this was the card that did fusion back then, and it did its job really well. Yeah. We got Dark Hole. Dark Hole is still played today in almost every deck. It's still a very broken card. It's still very good. It's just too good. Destroy all monsters on the field.
But we'll explain after this. We'll explain how when it first came out, no one actually used it.
Well, when it first came out, everybody was using this card right here, Regeki. Unless you Regeki came out as a super rare. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Now, back when this set first came out, okay, you were allowed to play 3 of this card in your deck. Now, when you played 3 Regeki, you didn't necessarily need or had space. Well, have space is kind of a far-fetched term for a Dark Hole, because you didn't really need it. You just needed the 3 Regekis, because Regeki destroys all your opponent's monsters. It's too good, and people just ran this guy. This guy was just really good, and it got a reprint in Battle Pack, which is its only reprint it's ever seen. I'm pretty sure. Like, let me just check. Yep, it's that was its only reprint. Well, Dark Legends, but like I don't consider that a real set. But sorry, Dark Legends. But yeah, yeah, really good card. It's banned. It will always be banned, and I don't think it should ever be unbanned. Honestly. Okay, so the decks back then, really, the only deck you would build back then was to have the strongest monsters possible.
Blue Eyes Red Dragon.
Well, you'd run 3 Blue Eyes, you'd run 3, I don't think Legend wasn't in this set, so you'd run 3 of, like, the strongest guy, which must have been, like, a 1600. You'd run, like, you'd run, not Exodia, Man-Eater Bug was a big monster, like, all these cards were played, and it was just whoever can attack and get the opponent's life points down to 0. No more, no funny business like today, no Inzectors popping everything. We didn't have, well, I mean, Inzectors aren't around anymore, but that's not the point. We didn't have, like, wind-ups just loop in your hand. That's not around either, so I have some really bad examples. We didn't have, like, we didn't have 6 Samurais just completely, like, negating all your spells and traps. It wasn't like that back then. It was just a simple game of cards where the strongest monster won the duel. And whoever had the best luck, because the game was really luck-based back then. So anyways, yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, Legend of Blue Eyes, this is going to be a relatively pointless episode, since, like, I mean, most of these cards are still seen in play today, but I mean, most of them are banned, and most of them are just kind of irrelevant. So thanks for watching. If you like this segment, remember to give it a big thumbs up. Remember to subscribe up here. That can help me out a lot. I am an up-and-coming YouTuber, and I'm trying to get my name out there, so thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Any last words?
Yeah, bye.
Yeah.